All right. So to start with, why don't you introduce yourself, where you're located, how long you've been in business, all that good stuff.
So my name is Brian Rawson. BSR Wedding Films is my company, and I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I've been in business officially for about 5 years now. But I filmed some weddings back in college in the kind of the mid 2000s, late 2000s,
Yeah.
and but last 5 years or so is when my official business has been going.
Got it. That's cool. And so I've been in touch with you on Facebook over the last couple of years. I know you were in Tulsa a few years back, and like we tried to meet up, but I had a wedding out of town that day, I remember, or something. So we've kind of been friends and online. And today, I've been kind of dealing with this whole TikTok thing that's happening, and people are like, TikTok is a waste of time. I mean, people, kind of bust it as it's for little kids and nobody's on it. And as we sit here in April of 2020, almost May, like every day, every month, more and more celebrities are getting on it, more and more people are taking it seriously. So I've been wanting to have conversations with different people just about how they're doing it, what it is, what they know about it. And this morning I was kind of scrolling through on my TikTok, and I saw in my For You page, which is basically the explore feed version,
Mhm.
for TikTok. I saw BSR weddings, and I was like, hey, I know that's Brian. Like, I wonder how his profile is. And I click over to your page, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy is blowing up on TikTok. So why don't you kind of explain your relationship with TikTok, when you started doing it, and when things maybe started to change for you?
Okay. Yeah. So I like many, I heard about it a few months back and didn't really pay too much attention to it. Just kept hearing about it, and then I think it was I don't know, December or January. Silverworth Films posted on the group about how he's using it, and he posted some videos. And so I just at that time I was like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. So I signed up for an account at that time. I didn't post anything yet, and then a few weeks. It was early February when I decided I had some content, just some of my stuff I was posting on Instagram, and I was like, I'll just post it on to TikTok as well. And I have a video of Regina and George that instantly kind of just took off. It had a couple 100,000 views within a few days, um, and so I was like, oh wow, it's kind of cool, but
That
it
is
didn't really
neat.
lead to, yeah. um, so I was like, I had 10,000 followers on there, but it didn't really, I saw a little bit of an increase in my Instagram, but like, nobody was inquiring about bookings or anything. So,
Yeah.
but so I posted a few more videos on there, and then kind of sat on it again until just a few days ago. So about 8 weeks later, um, I posted another video that I knew was a great video, and then sure
You're
enough,
you're
yeah,
famous, man.
yeah.
I'm looking here at your profile. Sorry. Go ahead. It's
So
funny.
yeah, it's a video with Gabe and Karina, and it's a blind first look that they did, and it's actually a wedding from last June, 2019, and it's just I posted the video several months back, and their friends and everything loved it, but I reposted on there, and sure enough, it just kind of blew up. And so
And blew up, he says, well, as of today, that one has 7.6 million views on it. I'm looking at your profile here. As of today, you have 9 videos. The least watched one is 191,000 views. There have been 3.1 million likes of your page or of your videos, and you have 138,000 followers.
yeah.
138,000 followers. And so, like, some people are saying, like, oh, well, who cares? Like, that's that number, it's like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't cause bookings or if it's 12-year-old girls or something like that. And so, like, I've been having the conversation with people about like what that actually means, if this app becomes what I think it's going to become, if it becomes the next, I don't think Instagram is going anywhere. I don't think Facebook's going anywhere, but like on TikTok, I feel like it is like apps come out and then they age up. If you think about Facebook, when it started,
Yeah.
it was just college kids, or Instagram is the kids, and then it ages up and then everybody's on it. And so the more I'm on TikTok, the more I'm seeing moms on there. And like, I feel like if you're not trying TikTok right now and learning it, by the time that it does get to a point where, you're able to like, but by the time that brides are really on there and really focusing, you're going to have missed the boat. So like right now is the time to be getting on TikTok, learning it and growing your TikTok following. So let me ask you, Brian, just about like you started putting videos back out recently. You put one out a long time ago, and then is that what you said? Like 8 weeks
Yeah.
ago?
So in February, I posted like four, like just all within like the same day, and one of those really took off. And then I posted, I think, two more just over the next week, and then I just sat on it then for about 8 weeks, and then yeah, just in the last couple of days in April here, I posted three more of the same couple. Like basically, I posted the one that blew up, and they're like, "Oh, we want to see more. We want to see more." And so part of that, what was cool is, a lot of those people who were watching that one video then would go over to, in your profile, you can have a link to your website and your Instagram and your YouTube. And so I would just reply, say, "Hey, watch the rest of this, watch the full film on our website." Or I tagged the couple. I said, "Go to their Instagram or my Instagram to see the full film." And then I decided I posted a couple more clips of that same couple, and those are getting tons of views too. And then and then what's helped with my Instagram is there's like different Instagram accounts that they'll repost viral content, and there was some account that with like 4 million followers that posted that video to their Instagram, and I instantly saw just a huge jump in my Instagram followers
So
from
tell me
that.
where your Instagram followers were at before you started posting these videos and where they're at now.
So as of 2 days ago, it was around 1,200, and then right now it's like 2,800.
So you've gone from 1,200 to 2,800 on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you've had probably no bookings yet, which is totally normal. And you've probably had a lot of people inquire with low budgets. But the point that, I'll ask you that here in a sec, but the point is, let's say that TikTok does stay around, and let's say that it, ages up, and then 3 years from now, it's really hard to get video views or really hard to get followers. You think about Facebook pages right now. This is very similar to what Facebook was like 8 or 9 years ago. You'd post a video and it would get 20,000 views or 30. It was just easy to get because they needed more content. And then everybody realized Facebook was a big deal, started pouring all their advertising and their dollars into it, and the price to get your videos to show up went way up. So TikTok right now is in this place of newness where the big marketing companies haven't really figured it out yet. And there's just all these people and all this attention. And so if you have a video that pops, like it's growing, your account has 138,000 followers. So if you fast forward, in a year or two, and it's much harder to get those followers, you beat the curve. And now you have this huge following, which causes brand awareness to look good. It causes all of these good things for you moving down the line. So have you had any inquiries? If so, have they been worth it at all yet, or no?
Yeah, so I've had inquiries. So like I said, 2 days ago is when I posted the Gabe and Karina video that's got the 7 million views. And just so since then and now, I've had probably 8 or 9 inquiries that like half of those were through my website form that they specifically mentioned, saw your video on TikTok. A couple just text messages saying, they assume they got my number from the website and just texted me saying, "Hey, saw your video." And then, but yeah, someone said, saw your video, and we have a $300 budget and would love for you to film our wedding. But so I'm getting. There was another one that was like $500 budget. So like I said, it's right now it's just kind of building the brand, building the audience, and down the road it can, who knows what it'll turn into. But
Yeah. And that's what I see in the groups. People are like, "Are you on TikTok?" And then it's like, "Yeah, and so is my 6-year-old niece," or something, and it's like, people don't understand the long-term value of jumping on the TikTok train now. And I'm not saying it's going to be the next thing or not. I mean, it's obviously people are getting on it like crazy, but like it isn't too late now in April of 2020 to start putting out content. And as wedding filmmakers, we have all of this content and we're all stuck at home right now with nothing to do. And it's like, if you're not I'm very encouraged by seeing, your 8 million views or whatever on this video and 130,000, 138,000 followers in this short amount of time. Not because it's just like, ooh, I want all these numbers, but like because of the long-term effect that it can bring. So if somebody's not even downloaded TikTok, can you give us a little explanation of what you know? And I know you don't know, you're not like claiming to be a TikTok expert or anything like that, but tell us what the platform was to you. Like you downloaded it, but like what has your thought process been on like, okay, like I'm gonna take these kinds of
Yeah.
videos and play them, or
Well,
that kind of stuff.
yeah. So my thought process was, yeah, like you said, so the audience on there tends to be younger females. I mean, younger people in general, but there's a huge audience of younger females. So the kind of the thought is, well, young females get married, whether they're not, maybe in a few years they'll be old enough to get married. But really, if you think about it, it is kind of the perfect audience of, people who are eventually going to be getting married. So in that sense, it makes sense. But as far as, what I'm doing on there, so I'm not really, so TikTok, most of the videos on there that, are kind of, um, people will respond to other videos. Like there'll be a song that's playing in the video. And then within TikTok, there's a way to basically use that audio in your video. And that's, from what I see, that's kind of what a lot of people do. And there'll be just a song playing and then there's like text up on the screen. So I'm not doing those kind of videos. I'm doing just, clips that I had been doing on Instagram, vertical videos with, so with the videos, the idea is you want it to be, you want to start out with something visually appealing and good audio too. So, right, people are flipping through, and then if you can hook them right away with a good visual and good audio, that's the key. And then if you have, so you hook them right away with the video, and then within the content, if you have something emotional, something that they can react to, and then you leave them wanting more, and that's how. And then they'll go to your website, or want the next video that you post.
Yeah, and like, so whenever I downloaded the app a while back, I started uploading videos, and I was looking for like these really polished moments, like parts of my videos. I'm the one of yours that has nearly 8 million views and will have 8 million views probably by the end of the day. Tell us about that video. What is it? You said you made it vertical. It fits the whole screen, so it takes up the whole thing. You're not using a song. It doesn't look like it. Just
Yeah. So that video, yeah. So there's not a song in that. It's a first look moment with a bride and a groom, and the groom has a blindfold on, and the bride doesn't, and um, he thought that she was going to also have a blindfold or wasn't going to be able to see him or something. So the hook at the beginning is, he gets shocked to realize that she can see him, but he can't see her. But yeah, as far as what you say, as far as the polish of the video, it's, what's cool is I shot it wide and close up, and because it's vertical, I just edit it to where I can cut between, close-ups of the two of them, or cut back to show the wide shot. But it's not, like I said, there's not music to it. It's just, it's great audio because his reaction is great in it. And, I'm not using any of for that video in particular, there's no text on the screen at all. The first video I had done a few months back that got popular, that one actually there's music to that one. And I do have text on the screen, as they're saying their vows back and forth. And I do have text on the screen for that one. And that one did well.
yeah.
And that was a little bit more of a polished, basically like a piece of their highlight film.
Yeah, in this video, I mean, so there's several videos. There's one that has 1.1 million views, one that has 7.6 million, the bigger one, 200,000, 200,000, 180,000, 190,000. I mean, all these are having several 100,000 views. So I'm guessing that every time you open up your TikTok app, there's just tons of new followers, likes, comments, all that kind of stuff. Did you, like, on Instagram, we have hashtags. I know the answer pretty much, but I want to, like, what are you using? what is the thought process? Like the For You page, you might explain what you know of that, since you're our resident expert on TikTok now.
Yeah. So I use a few hashtags. I don't use the For You hashtag or the FYP hashtag. I know I see a lot of videos will put that on there. None of my videos, I haven't done an FYP or For You hashtag. They're just a hashtag wedding, hashtag first look, hashtag bride, hashtag groom, just like 4 or 5 hashtags on the video with a short description of what the video is. But yeah, like, YouTube is, as you're the YouTube expert, and there's a lot that goes into um, tagging and description and a lot, linking, just everything that you have in your description and all that. Having a great thumbnail, whereas TikTok, it's simple. You just short description, a couple hashtags, and then you pick a frame within the video that is the thumbnail. It is important to have a good thumbnail, I think. What's cool is, I guess when you're on your own page, it shows like a short video of the thumbnail. Is it animating? Yeah, so it animates, and so you want to pick a cool animation, and but yeah, you don't have to. You're not loading in an external image. You're just picking a frame from the video, and then if you do, so one thing I noticed, I was looking at your videos on your TikTok, John, um, and
Don't go to
they're
my
great
TikTok,
videos.
people. Don't go
Yeah,
to my
no, they're
TikTok. I'm about
like,
to delete them all.
honestly, they're great videos, and it's just for whatever reason the algorithm, it didn't. Not many people are seeing it,
I
but
already have 200 followers, man. Just give me a break. No,
I was
mine
gonna
aren't full
say,
screen. I just was throwing things out there just to see what, throw it up against the wall if anything stayed. And I'm seeing some of these people that are in our group being like, oh my gosh, I'm growing this TikTok. So I was like, I want to ask them what they're doing. So I don't know. I'm like most of the people out there. So give me the feedback. Hit me up. Tell me what I'm doing
well,
wrong. I tell
I
people
was
what
gonna
they're
say
doing
some
wrong
of
all the
the
time.
I was just saying on the thumbnails, some of the text is either way below or way high on the screen.
Yep.
And so, and like at the lower third of the screen, there's, the comments. And then even on the right part of the screen, there's um,
Like the
little
heart and stuff
icons.
like that.
So
Yeah.
if you have text on there, just kind of keep that in mind. Keep it up above the lower third, and maybe squeeze it in a little so
Yeah.
it's not being covered by that.
So like you're exporting videos out. Like, are you going through your previous projects? Like, what would you recommend? Like, I've got hundreds of weddings on my hard drives. Should I be going through the raw footage? Should I go through my final films from previous edits? Like, how are you finding these? Like, what is qualifying to you of like, oh, I'm going to try this as a clip next? Like, what are you looking for in your footage? Because it doesn't have to be perfect. It's actually probably better if it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to, so yeah, it's funny. So like the first clip I had done a few months ago that did well, that one was more of a polished clip. That was literally just a section from a highlight film that I trimmed to fit a minute. And it was actually wasn't 9:16. It was a 4:5 orientation. So it didn't even fully fill the screen.
Mhm.
But as far as orientation, yeah, it should be a 9:16 orientation, 1080 by 1920 is the resolution. And but yeah, so I would do you could do 15 seconds or a minute. I've been doing minute long videos, and I would recommend a first look moment, any emotional part of the day that you have, whether it's a first look or first look with the parents. But yeah, you don't need the music in there. It doesn't have to be too polished. I also, one of the recent clips I did was just a series of the person coming down the aisle, and you kind of hear the ambient audio of what's going on during the ceremony, and you hear it's the mic on the groom. But there's some like shaky footage in there. It's not the best. You know it's fine if there's if it's not the perfect camera movement and all that. Just the key is if the audio is really good and what you're seeing is visually appealing. But the main thing is you're appealing to some sort of a emotional connection to that
Mhm.
audience. And what I found is, you know, people, if you have a groom that is amazing, that's what the audience's reaction is reacting to. You have they see that the way the groom loves the bride, and they're like, they hit that heart button. So
Mhm.
if you have Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, like looking through your videos, and we'll obviously, if you're downloading TikTok and want to check out his page, it's just at BSR Wedding Films. B is in boy, S is in Scott, R is in ride, Wedding Films. So BSR Wedding Films, if you want to check out Brian's, page or whatever. But I was going to also ask you timing of when you're uploading. You said you uploaded a bunch in one day. Have you seen any science behind when to post, or what have you been doing? I know that there's a lot of theories out there. Did you say you posted a bunch in one day to start with? Like,
Yeah, well, so in February, I had done 4 just all in one. Actually, it was just late at night. So I had 4 videos that I just had already had them because I posted them to my Instagram, and so I just posted them all at one night, and one of them was the one that had stuck at that time. But then so recently, this video with Karina and Gabe, I posted it like noon just 2 days ago. I do think, the current situation with everyone being on lockdown, I do think a lot more people are just sitting around flipping through TikTok. So now is not a bad time to get on it if you're not.
it's
But yeah,
actually the
so
best time to get on
yeah,
it. Get on it.
but yeah, so that video just the other day, like around noon, and then the follow-up video again yesterday at noon as well. So
So are
that's
you
what I've been
planning on
doing.
doing like one a day now, or like, so before I ask that question, you posted a few in February and then we're just like, I'm good. But did those have a ton of views by the time that you jumped back on a few days ago, or did they start getting a ton of views after you posted one video that went,
Uh,
like,
so
how many
they
followers did you have,
okay,
a
yeah.
few days
So
ago?
it's okay, yeah. So I had when I posted those back in February, one of those immediately jumped to like 100,000 views, and I got up to around 10,000 followers
Okay.
within. Well, sure. um, um, so I was at around 10,000 followers 2 months ago, and then I just kind of sat on it because I was like, wow, okay, I could potentially leverage this. I'm gonna kind of sit back and think about it, and then yeah, and then a few days ago, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna post some more on here. And so yeah, I had about 10,000 followers a few days ago, and then once I had this video that stuck, then yeah, now it's up to
So are you,
130,000
are you
followers.
just kind of like freaking out, like in a good way? Like, this is so cool? Or
Yeah,
like, I
it's
mean,
pretty
what's
cool.
it
Yeah,
feel?
like you said, I open up the notifications and I just refresh it. It's just constant comments literally every minute. There's like 5 new comments. So
So how
kind of
many
cool.
new people are you adding a day? Like, I mean, so you have 138.1 and like you've added 100 followers just since we've started talking in the last 30 minutes. Um,
Yeah. I don't know. So you can, if
yeah,
you, I don't know if you can see.
I can.
So like, this is just comments. If you refresh it, it's like every 2 minutes ago, 1 minute ago. That's just comments. So if I hit like all activity just now, just started following you just now, so and so started following you just now, like all these, this is all like just now, just
Push it over a little so the screen can see it.
now.
Yeah, there you go. So like these are all new people that have
Yeah,
followed.
so
And
like new followers just now.
yeah,
So, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, every time I open it, it's you know
yeah.
refresh it, and there's
I followed you since this conversation, but
yeah,
good luck finding me and all those new followers. Well, I know that like obviously, TikTok is newer to people. It's really not that new, but it's newer to people. And I said it to Nick in October, I think it was. I was just like, if you're not on TikTok, man, like it is going to get to a point to where this virality, this kind of stuff isn't possible. Like it's just not as possible. It's more saturated. But as of right now, when people are stuck in their homes with nothing to do, especially the younger crowd, you know, it's like what's going to happen is within the next year to 2 years, I would assume that most people that aren't on TikTok now that are under 30 will be on TikTok. And those people that were in their teens right now are going to be getting into that age to where they might know people or might be getting engaged. And so like this isn't just, hey, you're going to start booking a ton of weddings, but the people that were laughing at Facebook or laughing at Instagram or laughing at whatever or saying it wasn't worth it, or it's only kids, or the security breaches, or what, like that they're going to fix that, because this company is now worth billions and billions of dollars, because there are hundreds of millions of people on the app. So, if now isn't, like, if you can't find the time right now to like export out just like 10 clips that are 19 or 1080 by 1920, and just start going and giving it a try, like, you really don't have any business being in business. It's worth trying it. And so that's what I'm planning on doing, is like, I'm going to get off this call. I'm going to pull up some of my favorite projects, and I'm going to just set up a template. I know Matt Johnson posted a video about export settings for TikTok, but you just have like a 1080 by 1920 timeline, and you're exporting these things out. And like, if you're not doing that, not giving that a try, like, I feel like you're really missing the boat. And so I guess my next question to you, Brian, would just be like, what advice would you have to somebody that has no idea what TikTok is, no idea where to start? What would you recommend they do in the next day? Like, should they just download the app and start looking? Should they download the app and start uploading things? What do you have any advice on that?
Um, well, your advice is great as well. But yeah, I would just say it doesn't hurt to get on there and try. I mean, if you're you got a wedding video business and you're trying to grow your audience, if you're already posting content to Instagram and Facebook, just you can repurpose that content. Definitely, you know, make it vertical videos, and and just stick with your brand. So if you've got some great videos that you want to share, put them on there. If you want to do like behind the scenes, just you being silly,
Yep.
that's great too. Like my I'm just not that interesting of a person, and so like a lot of my stuff is not me. It's just my couples. But I'm thinking about putting some more stuff of my face on there too, but that's really not so much of my brand as far as what people respond to. So
You don't know
um,
though. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, once you've built that following, now you post a video and it shows up in 138,000 people's feeds, and they're liking and commenting, and that's telling TikTok, hey, this is a video that people, and now you have caught on this flywheel. So when you post a video, it may not get 7 million views, but if you're random, you're starting to show yourself more in there, and people are assuming, or like connecting the two, that you are part of that brand, and they're like, you can build a following around you and stuff. And so as wedding filmmakers, we just have all of this content. So I would say scrub back through your last year, 2 years of films, and just think what moments really stood out that could, like, 15 to 60-second moments that could like really go viral. A dad seeing his daughter for the first time, or, you know, I've seen the most videos on weddings, have to do with the bride and the groom and emotional moments between the two of them. But like, just think through and just, little things that could catch, give that a try, see if that works, start posting, start getting out there and trying, because you may end up being famous like Brian one day.
yeah, yeah. And be on How to Film's Wedding, How to Film's Wedding.
Get super famous like that. No. So, well, I appreciate you taking the time. Anything else that you would add before we finish chatting about this?
Let me I had a couple notes written down, which I
Yeah.
was kind of looking at them, but I think I said most of what I'd written down. But no, I think it's fascinating. Just honestly, seeing the comments on the videos is interesting. Just it kind of gives you an insight into what people respond to, just the way that like just every little part of the video, it's like someone will make a comment about it, and it kind of tells you, oh, okay, that they like, just there's just seeing all the comments on the videos just makes me kind
Yeah.
of, I can sees it through their eyes, and what stood out to them. So but it's my so I was gonna say, um like I feel like my wife knows a lot more about TikTok, actually, because she will do like the traditional TikTok video where it's like you spend a lot of time um you know carefully, you've got this song, and then you do like this cool video and dance to it and
Mhm.
whatnot. And I've appeared in a couple of those videos, but she's much better at it than I am, in terms of just doing like just a silly TikTok video, like a dancing video. So I may give one of those a try soon
Does
on
she have
my own account.
138,000 followers?
No, she doesn't, and it's actually it's kind of
Is
a
it
thing
driving her
about
crazy?
it is driving her crazy because she'll literally spend an hour on each one of her videos.
What's her tag? We need to all follow her too.
It's Nicole Rawson.
Okay, I'll find her and follow
Yeah,
her.
and yeah,
That's funny.
there's a couple clips in there where I'm dancing with her, but
Oh, I
yeah,
can't wait
she'll
to see
spend.
it. And just so we know, you're not an interesting person. Yeah, I see you dancing. Oh, I'm already following her. That's good. I'm one
That's
of her
funny.
25 followers.
Okay, there we go.
But here's the thing, like even if you don't go viral or whatever, I personally think that getting content out there around your brand and around your name now, the chance of going viral is great. I wouldn't be discouraged if you don't get 150,000 followers in a couple of posts, but like to me, it only makes sense to go ahead with this amount of time that we have on our hands and just like export out like 30 or 40 clips, have them in a folder on your phone, airdrop them over or whatever, and just post one a day at a different time and see what picks up and what doesn't. And, look at other people's profiles like Brian's that like are doing things that are really, popping and say, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to do this. And that's something that I got discouraged because like I put out a few clips and it's like, they're getting 700 views or 800 views or whatever. But then, I'm seeing people that post a video that I'm like, that's not that good of a video. And it's got 200,000 views or 800, not that yours don't, but like, I've only watched a couple of the ones of yours, but like, it's not just about like this purest thing that wedding videographers do. It's like, well, it's not perfect and it's not exactly on brand. Like, get content out there that's good and see where it, like who it attracts and see how many people you can get viewing these videos. Because in 12 months, when TikTok is more saturated, people are going to go to your profile and be like, well, let me check him out on TikTok. And they see, whoa, Brian has 1 million followers. He's like TikTok famous. And it's like, I want him at my wedding. And that is going to be socially what helps prove that you're a big deal. Just like if you went to a wedding photographer or videographer's profile now on Instagram and see 1 million followers, it's like, whoa, I want to see if I can get them at my wedding. It is part of the perception of building this brand. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, I would say too. Just one other tidbit is, if you're couples, the videos that you're posting of, the people in your videos, if they're on TikTok as well, have them interact with the post. The most of the videos that I've posted are, the couples in the video are also pretty active on social media and they're also already on TikTok. So I was able to, tag them and they like seeing their videos on there and interact with some of the comments. And so yeah, don't be afraid to just, like John said, just, post some stuff on there, see what happens. And
I'm just refreshing to see if you've got another, 100 followers since I've last. Yeah, you're at 138.5 thousand now, and it was
okay.
138.1. So you've added 400 followers. What the heck, man?
Hey, get those exposure bucks coming through,
Get those exposure bucks. That's what we're here for, is the EBs, man, the exposure
Yeah.
bucks. No. Well, I'm going to upload this. I might put it as a podcast. I know I'm going to put it on our YouTube channel. If people want to follow you or your Instagram or any of that, where can they find you, Brian?
BSR Wedding Films on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
And
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah. And BSR, that's my initials, Brian Scott Rawson. So
That
that's what
makes
that stands
sense.
for.
And so we'll link up to that in the video. And it's going to be fun to watch just how many more people are following you by the time that we post this and by the time people watch this. Super exciting stuff. So thanks for being on. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, John.